Hey everyone, LamFamBamFam back again. Today we're going to try out a different type of video. I'm going to start a little puzzle series um, and just see how far we can get and kind of walk through my thought process as I'm going through these. Now it looks like this very first puzzle they're going to help me out on, so we'll just take their advice. As you can see here, the king has nowhere to move. So if we can deliver check, we can give checkmate. Just like that, we're on the board. Nice. Level 2, wood 2. Okay. And the chess puzzles, they give a hint here on the right side of the screen that you guys can't see, but it says black to move. Oh no, you can win my rook. Now, obviously, that's very helpful. Before we even looked at that, it's important to kind of analyze the situation. So immediately off the bat, I'm seeing this bishop's under attack twice by the rook and queen. My queen's defending once, so I would lose that if I do nothing about that. His rook is protected, his bishop's protected. He can deliver check in 2 different ways. Actually, 3 different ways, but I can respond. So just trying to assess the whole board before we make any moves. One thing I'm eyeing is always looking for checkmates. So right now the king can move in 3 different squares. Now, if I can bring the queen here, that would be checkmate, if not for the queen recapturing. So is there any way to remove that queen or lighten the situation? Another move I'm looking at is this rook right here, check, which would force the king either here or here. But I don't see any immediate favorable follow-ups. So let's keep looking. I guess if we refer back to the hint, oh no, you can win my rook, that would assume that this guy is probably hanging at some point, and potentially because the king moves. So, for example, rook here, the king only has so many options. It can move here, here, or here. There may be a follow-on. So let's say rook here, king here. I think queen here is checkmate. Leads to losing the queen, then the rook, and then finally checkmate. So the king probably moves to one of these spots. Again, we can follow it up with a nice little check. And if the king defends the rook, well, it can't because this rook, so we'll win this rook. If he blocks, we'll take the bishop. Going through a lot of steps, but I think, long story short, is leading with a check is probably the immediate solution here. Let's see if I'm right. Okay. And now, again, we can follow this up with it. Ooh, I just saw that queen. So it might be actually queen here. Yes. Now, obviously, the goal is to take the rook, but I would be looking for other ways to checkmate or check the black, or the white queen, excuse me. So there's a continuation. I'm in check. Important that you don't just block with the rook, because this queen can come down here and you'd be checkmated. So let us step over. And then I believe we would just step up. Perfect. Extra hard puzzle. And now we're on wood 3. So I'll do one more quick puzzle. Try to be a little bit more concise and articulate my thoughts a little better. But let's get into it. So again, as I see this board, this king's under threat. My king's under threat. If I don't make the correct move, I will get checkmated. But the same goes for this guy. So immediate thoughts is queen here. The king has to go here. But how do I follow that up? Queen here, king here, queen here, I believe is checkmate. On the right, it says white to win this game. Win with checkmate. So check. One more check goes down, forces the king up in either of these directions. And then we simply checkmate. Nice. 3 in a row. Daily solver. That's all I'm going to do for today. Hope you enjoyed this. See ya.